Māori science personifies the physical world and makes it behave in ways that are metaphoric. So what we say is that the waka or the canoe of Maui is the South Island, and behind that he caught the North Island, which is the stingray, and he's got it on his fishhook and he's pulling it down. So the South Island to us is up from our own hemisphere. We have many stories about how our island homes got there, and one of them is that there were two double hull canoes that made a crossing across the great double ocean. And what we say is, well, I think we're actually talking about the movements of the earth plates. And what we say is that there used to be a migration the gods made around our part of the waters here, and they knew how to eat the wind, just navigational. They ate the wind, and then they gave that knowledge to people how to actually catch the fastest trade winds to make that route and come through safely. But anyway, they were making a journey across this particular time, and we talked about prayers, our sister here. And karakia, we say, and karakia is the beginning in prayer, it's beginning. And in the beginning is prayer. It's, I think you call this a concentric paradox. And what they said is, on this particular time, the priest got one of the karakia wrong. And so the journey set off. And this double hull canoe, one was called Te Waka Aotearoa o Ngā Atua, and the other was called Aotea Mairangi. And it's represented as a double hull canoe trying to make this journey across. The priest in Aotea Mairangi didn't have the correct prayer. And basically what happened, it sunk. It was reclaimed into Tangaroa, which we say the deity of the seas, the oceans. And so all of those who were on that vessel were lost, and many of the names are actually the names of the peaks in the South Island. So they're remembered like that. And how we map out our area, we call it awaka. So we have the tau ihu, which is the front, and your nose, ihu, as marking one part of the boundary, and then the taurapa is at the back. But we say also that's about the body of the people is described like a waka. And so when we identify ourselves, we say, I'm from Te Arawa Waka, or I'm from Ngaitarangi Waka. Okay, so it's a metaphysical as well as a physical marking out of our position. That in order to engage with anything or one or whatever, it's important to establish that position first and foremost. And how we do this, we say, that is you over there. Tēnā koe. That is you. And we then say, and this is me over here. So we see a distinction. You over there, me over here. And whatever that means. And then we start to then unpack the different levels of what it means to be me over here and you over there. So we're not confused about anything in terms of whatever it is we're bringing to that situation of relationship. And so what I said a bit earlier is the mountains that sing the songs of my ancestors, from which they had a vantage point to see far and beyond. The waters that nourished and fed them, and now feed me as well. And the land base below and the sky above. These are what give me my place in the world, my tūranga waiwai, which is, tu means to stand, and ranga means the lines of descent, and waiwai means my feet. So when I'm sure-footed, when I'm anchored in the place that I belong, I'm in my tūranga waiwai, I'm earthed. And our word for ourselves as a people, the generic term is tangata whenua. Tangata meaning people, persons, it's plural and singular. And whenua meaning placenta. But also the word for earth, So we say we are the people of the placenta of the universe. We recognise that other people are the lungs from the people of the lungs of the universe. So the Mother Earth, Papa Tuanuku, we see as a complete organic body. We all stand on the Mother somewhere. And for our particular people, it's important to recognise where the particular somewhere is in relation to the general others. And to understand that our learning, our language, our culture has evolved out of a particular sense of place in relation to the general. And that's how I start myself to identify, here I am, this particular somebody in a body of generalities. And these are people, these are places, these are time dimensions, these are heaven, if you like.